What is wrong with everyone? That's my first line. What is wrong with you? So, due to the news derelation, the new Cyberpunk is discontinued. You wanna know why? Because there's bugs and glitches. Okay, I had enough of this. Let me speak some truth here. For here. People don't care. People actually don't care. People are so impatient. So, let me get back to the first start. This happened a long time ago. It didn't happen now. It happened so long. The first one was just basically like, hey, we can't wait for this. We have to do stuff. We have to be busy. And then it evolved over time to drastic measures like today. So let's go back to when Friday the 13th came out for the game. When it came out, everyone didn't care. They just care about the gameplay. Everyone cared less about the gameplay and more about the bugs. And like the bugs and the graphics, and no one cares about the gameplay, to be honest. So then Friday the 13th had more than 10 glitches. Assassin's Creed Unity also had more than 10 glitches, but improved over time, and it got a recent update where it will, it has no more glitches, but since people are critical, they won't go back. They'll be like, nah, it still has glitches, and I don't care. What's new? What's old is old. What's new is better. That's what their slogan would be. And then Walking Dead, Overkill Walking Dead. So, when Overkill made Payday 2, they were gonna make Walking Dead. Now this was a publicity thing. This was a thing that they were thinking that they were gonna do, which was a good idea. It was like Left 4 Dead combined with Walking Dead. But here's the problem. One single glitch from Walking Dead made it discontinued and made it off the shelves. You wanna know what that glitch is? A spinning head. Yep. A zombie, whenever you shoot a crossbow with a zombie on the head will spin. Now that's an easy fix, but since so many people are like, oh, that one single glitch is gonna ruin the game. Oh no, we don't need Walking Dead. We don't need a Walking Dead game. Telltale's more better. We don't want something new and something cool. And then discontinued it. Then Walking Dead Saints and Sinners came along, and then they were like, no, we don't want this. We don't want Walking Dead. We don't want anything from Walking Dead. We don't want to change anything. They're like inbred dog breeders. They're like, oh, we don't want to change them. We don't want them to mate with other animals. We just want them to stay the same. How about a big middle finger up your ass? Because Walking Dead Sinners just showed ya how good they were. And now it's still popular. It has 5 stars already. 4.5 stars or 5 stars on Steam, PS5, and even goddamn Oculus. So generally, so let me get this straight. Assassin's Creed Unity or Friday the 13th, an old game that has lots of glitches they don't care about, they don't give a shit about. But when it's one glitch in a game that just never came out, and people thought it might be interesting, off the shelves. Also, another fact is that no one is really impatient. No one's patient. So let's go to JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Let's say, for example, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. People keep the fan base and all that stuff. It's not just JoJo. It's every single anime. I've seen so many fan bases going mad, going impatient, because there's no season 3. There is no new thing coming from an anime. Let's say, a manga artist, let's just say a manga didn't release a movie or an anime of it. Those people go mad and say, release an anime right now. That's what they're like. When Part 4 JoJo's Bizarre Adventures anime came out, a lot swept the nation. The fan base has been going wild just for the release of Part 5. People are like, release Part 5, release Part 5, release Part 5. But they don't understand that they have to make the characters, they have to animate. That's the problem with the audience and the animators. The audience don't care. The audience, we people, don't care about everyone, about those animators. So when we are trying to rush them in production, they lose focus and detail goes bad. But do we blame ourselves? No. We blame the people who do it, who actually do it. So when they listen and go, okay, we will release it 2 months, okay? Then they will lose focus, they will have no detail, and then everything's just rushed in production, everything's voice acting very fast, and then it'll lead up to a bad anime, or something bad. Exact same way. There's like no patience whatsoever in these people. And now Cyberpunk now, the game that came out in 2019, like Keanu Reeves was like, we have an idea to make a good game. This game looked great, amazing, free roam, free open world in a cyberpunk age, in an RPG style, with a character sheet like an RPG, and you can experience different endings. This was the game, the holy grail game that I was thinking that no one will do. But no. People won't wait. And then they say, come on, release Cyberpunk. Even though there's a date given. It was going to release at January 2021. That's what they said at 2019 because of COVID. COVID came, swept through the nation, and people can't do anything for lockdown. And so they release it next year. That's why Halloween in 2019, they said that they were going to release a sequel to Halloween in 2020, but then cancelled to 2021. Oh, but no, we don't care about movies. We just care about games or like anime or any media. Like, no, fuck movies. No, we don't care about movies. We just want everything now. We just want everything happening now. You know something? There has been a story. I have going to tell the story. It's called The Peaceful War. I don't know if this story is real or not. I don't know if I made this up. I'm not too sure. I don't know if it's actually real. I just thought of this thought of this story, but I don't know if someone owns it. You know what I mean? Like you think of a story, but you don't know if they own it or not. But still, anyway. So there was this soldier. Here's the story. there's a soldier. And now this is fictional. This is not real, but it does put a good moral in the story. Let me just think for a second. What was I have it here. I have it saved here for special occasions. See if oh god, give me a second. Yeah, I get it. I understand. You don't want to wait, and you could die at any moment. But at the end of the day, when you are becoming when you are the animator, and people are like saying, "Come on, upload, do this, do that, do this," you'll feel lost. You'll feel like that you shouldn't do this, and you'll feel depressed, and then finally you'll probably kill yourself because of all the stress you're under. Because when a development team goes on to develop a game and it's rushed into production, that means that causes a lot of stress in the workplace. That's because they're trying to rush things. And that's our consequences of our actions, of the viewer's actions. That if we try to rush things and make them all happen now, instead of waiting for the future, then we will feel that in the future it's empty. You see, I have an interesting theory on a hero story, a typical hero story, or typical superhero, or any story or journey. This is what I call the beginning of the story effect. This is when a person begins a journey or a story. Right, so their first instincts of beginning a story and adventure is that they expressly go happy, like they're excited to do this inside or outside, like they express it. They say, they're like, oh, I can't wait to do this, I'm finally going on an adventure, I'm finally doing something in my life. And then, they go through all the villains, like the henchmen. They're like, oh, I beat you, bomb, 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 beat you. Then halfway through the journey, it starts to decay. That's because the mental physiologically of the brain capacity of the heroes are like saying, what's the point in all this? He's beginning to question, what is this supposed to be? Like, who's really the villain? And he's going halfway, he's just like, this is just boring. I'm just defeating everyone. There's like no one that can stop me, to be honest. And he keeps going, he's like, when am I gonna finish this story? And then he keeps going. Then he gets to the end. He gets to the tower or something like that. The villain's lair. The main villain's lair. He comes up. And he has to save a princess, let's just say. Or something like that. I don't mind. And then he kills the villain. Or defeats him. And then that's it. That's it. You see, superhero movies never, everyone doesn't realize that. everyone doesn't realize that at the end of the story, you'll feel empty. And then the hero began to think more and more on how he hates himself. That's because he ruined a chance to prolong the journey. So if you rush the journey, like he did, so like let's say you went to a journey to defeat a villain. He rushed things, he tried to defeat henchmen fastly. He defeats them fastly. Or any journey, like he defeats the villain, then he feels empty. Because why not? Because the story's finished. He goes back to be wherever he wants to be. Then he feels empty. He didn't feel that enthusiasm when he first started the journey. That's because to really have a good time is when you prolong something in your journey. When you prolong the journey, you feel more excited. But if you prolong the journey, you feel bored. But at the end of the story, if you don't prolong the story, you'll start to feel depressed and you'll think that, oh, I wasted time on wasting my journey. I wasted my journey on, this and that, and it's all my fault, and you start to blame yourself, you start to blame yourself for even starting it. You're like, oh, I really shouldn't have done that journey, or I really shouldn't do that, and then you start to hate yourself, and then that's it. And then the story comes again, and again, and again, and again. It's like in a never-ending loop of winning. And it's a never-ending loop to satisfy the enthusiasm and excitement that he first had. And it keeps going. It's sad. It is sad. People think like, oh, since he's the villain, he is obviously bad. Or, since he's the hero, he's obviously good. Well, I don't think that. I think equally towards hero and villains. Sometimes I like villains, sometimes I like heroes. But the main point is that they both deserve justice. Both sides deserve justice in their life. The heroes have been protecting people for the good of mankind, but the villains have past trauma. Take a villain like Dio or something like that, from Dio Brando. He's been abused by his father. He's been doing all sorts of stuff as a child. What more? I don't mean that he should be forgiven because he wanted to rule the world. I'm saying that he deserves a little bit of respectability. Villains deserve to be respected. Heroes deserve to be liked. But the main problem is, that's the problem with scripts, with superhero movies, with anything. They're scripted. So that's preordained fate. And we all know who's going to win at the end of the story. Heroes. That's not how the story goes, I'm afraid. It's not how the story goes. It's not how the story goes. Like, we all think peace, justice, and despair, and hope, and everything will win in the end. And light will win over darkness. But what if darkness had a better morality, had better motivation? Let's say a hero, let's say a villain, destroyed and ruined by heroes. Who's really the villain? The heroes or villain? Let's say the hero destroys a cure to the villain's wife. What would you think about that? Or let's say a person has been verbally abused, I don't even want to say anything else, abused, harassed, and no one else saves them, not even the heroes. That's the true story. Yes, heroes can have superpowers, but there's one weakness. They can't save everyone, and that's what the villain should be. That's how the film should start as, when a hero doesn't save them. And the hero should be stopped for that. You know, we always think that we should change movies to be happier, to be family friendly, but would you rather let your children get taught properly or wrongly? I think teaching children that you won't get your way all the time, and there's no happy ending at the end of the rainbow. They'll learn that heroes and villains can be both as bad, can be both villains. Villains can show that they're heroes. Like, let's say someone else. Let's just say the heroes ruined the villain's lives. So then who's in the wrong? But there's one thing that I will agree to, no matter what. No matter if you're a villain or not. No matter if you're a villain or not. No matter if you're a man, woman, animal or creature, no matter if you're black or white, no matter if you're a murderer, no matter if you're a billionaire or rich, no matter if you're poor or rich, no matter if you're a villain or a hero, no matter if you killed billions, no matter if you destroyed the lives, you should always be deserved and accepted as a hero. That's why heroes are truly the villains. If they don't help the villains, that means they don't accept the other side of the story and contradict the other side of the story. The truth is, when we see heroes, we think of ourselves. But we have to listen to the other side of the story, which is the villains. Villains can be respectful too. There's no contract that says you're the villain and you'll always be the villain. Some villains can be still accepted as a hero. And forgive, and you will be forgiven, no matter what. And therefore, justice will be served. True justice will be served. If you listen to the other side of the story, if you just listen to the villain side and the heroes, you'll see there's two different stories, two different mindsets in the world, light and dark. But who's truly in the light and who's truly in the dark? The truth is, we're all blind. We all need to be set free into this world, to have patience. Now, no matter what, I'm not putting any offense to anyone, but I feel like we should relax and accept this and respect everyone, and true justice will be served.